Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about what Ron Rivera said yesterday, kind of throwing quarterback Carson Wentz under the bus. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. Also hit that like button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. And also a little sick, so that's why I sound congested, a little bit of a sore throat as well. But let's start off. I'll show you guys what Ron Rivera said yesterday, and then we'll get into some more details.
Aaron, following up on John's question about the Giants, they're up to a faster start. The Eagles, the Cowboys, they've kind of all been rebuilding too the last couple of years, and it seems like they're farther ahead. Why do you think the teams in the division are farther ahead at this point?
Quarterback.
Is that? I mean, with quarterback, like the Cowboys, for instance, they don't have Dak Prescott this season and still have been able to
Well,
win.
They started with
him,
Dak,
but
and they build around Dak, and the offense is built around Dak. Their backup's a guy that is very.
Do you know some people are trying to make excuses for Ron, saying he didn't really throw Carson under the bus? I don't know. I mean, let's read it right here. You guys saw it. Basically, he was asked why other NFC East teams have jumped past Washington. Love the question from Matthew Paris, and then he says quarterback. And not only does he say quarterback, but he waits 4 or 5 seconds before he makes an explanation, and the only reason he does is because he gets asked a follow-up question. Imagine if he just said quarterback and there was no follow-up question. That would have been even worse, in my opinion. And then he asked, someone asked a follow-up, I think it was Matthew Paris, and he said he has no regrets about trading for Wentz, and asked Rivera for more clarification. Basically, my interpretation is other teams have had more time to build around their QB while Wentz is new here. I also mentioned him that he previously said if you don't have the QB, you build up the rest of the roster. Did they? So, yeah. I don't know. I did not like the answer by Rivera because also, Daniel Jones, yeah, he's been there for 4 years, but this is a new staff. And they're 4-1, and their roster it is worse than it was last year. The Eagles, 5-0. And you look at the Cowboys, Cooper Rush, backup QB starting for them, and is 4-0 this year. It's not the quarterback. Sure, if the Commanders had Patrick Mahomes, they would be a lot better. But it's mostly coaching for why they are 1-4. If they had better coaching, they would definitely, I think, have won the Titans game. I think they could have maybe even won the Cowboys game. And if they made better personnel decisions this offseason, I think they also would have possibly been able to win as well. It's just really, really frustrating. And then let's see what Rivera, this is what he said today, kind of responding. I didn't have to. I was fortunate enough that our media relations director contacted him and let him know. And I actually talked to Carson this morning. In fact, I talked to the whole team. I had a mea culpa moment. You guys can read the rest. It's very congested, so it's hard to do. But really wanted to make the video. So it is what it is. He clarified that he meant the other QBs in the NFC East have familiarity in their systems and teams, and Wentz is in his first year in Washington. Honestly, I probably believe that because I don't think Rivera would be that guy just to throw him under the bus and be that obvious with it. He kind of threw Jamin Davis from the under the bus in the past, but it wasn't this obvious. This was just right there, right there. Wentz, what's been the problem? Why have other NFC East teams been better than you? Quarterback. And then he waited 5 seconds. I just think he did if he is being truthful that he didn't really mean what he said, he did a really, really bad job of explaining himself. And also he waited for, like I said, 5 seconds 5 seconds to kind of just, he said they asked him what's the main reason for this, and he says quarterback and waits 5 seconds. When I was watching that live, I was like, what is happening? But yeah, it is what it is. Let's see. And then Alex Smith makes a comment on it. I had a really hard time watching that. When I heard it, I couldn't believe it. I'm not here to defend Carson Wentz, but this is a defensive head coach that's absolutely driving the bus over his quarterback. If anyone else said that, I would be fine with it. I just, it is what it is with Alex Smith. He just continues to pile on in this franchise, and Ron Rivera's been wrong about a lot of things, and he's made a lot of mistakes, but what he did with Alex Smith was not a mistake. Alex Smith is still mad at Ron for benching him in that, or not even benching him, but not playing him in that Bucs game. And if they would have played him in that Bucs game, they would have gotten absolutely killed. I think he's still salty about that. I think in that scenario, Ron Rivera handled the situation perfectly. So I don't think, Alex Smith needs to complain about, that. He's not complaining here, but, it is what it is. He's mad, but he's right about this situation, in my opinion. And then here is what Ron Rivera had to say today. I'll play a little bit of it, not too much.
The stuff you said yesterday made a bit of a stir, and you had Alex Smith and other people out there saying stuff. What did you make of their reaction, and do you understand why they reacted the way they did?
I do, but at the end of the day, I spoke to my team this morning. I basically told them that I said some things that were misconstrued. I didn't present it properly, and that's on me. So I took accountability. Told the guys that I should know better, and I had a bad day. So I figured, I'm feeling better today. Let's move forward. So, to me, as far as I'm concerned, it's really now about the most important thing. That's getting ready for football.
Did you worry that you had caused maybe an unnecessary distraction in the week?
Okay, so you guys, heard it. He's owning up to his mistake, and that's good. Ron Rivera usually does that in these kind of situations when it has to do with the players, not necessarily with like on-field decisions or player personnel decisions, stuff like that. But in terms of mistakes like this that he does in the media, he usually does own up to it and takes accountability for his wrongdoing. So good for him there, and it's not a huge deal at the end of the day. But you do like, seeing Ron Rivera take accountability for it. This is what Nicky Jabala said. Ron Rivera didn't throw Carson Wentz under the bus. He didn't put all the blame on him at all. The problem is Rivera's argument wasn't all that logical, so interpretation has been all over the place. And I honestly probably agree with that, but I just think he did a terrible, terrible job just with everything, with the pause between him saying quarterback, and then his reasoning for it was terrible. Like, yeah, he said, he talked about all the other quarterbacks in the division and how they've had time. It really doesn't make that much of a difference. The last two Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, that was their first year playing there. The Matthew Stafford and the Rams, and Tom Brady and the Bucs. Obviously, we don't have those two QBs, but still, just because you have a new QB, that doesn't mean you can't win with those guys. And then also, the reason putting, the quarterback, why we haven't won, that's not it. That's not it. It's coaching is the main reason. And quarterback's a little bit of it. Injuries is a part of it too. And then roster construction besides QB is also an issue as well, in my opinion. So, I don't think it's a big deal. Ron Rivera said that, he's upset that himself that, he caused a distraction. It is what it is. Doesn't seem like the players made a big deal out of it. And yeah, that is it for today's video. And also Carson Wentz has done a great job since he's gotten here of handling these situations. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully next video I'm feeling a little bit better and not sick like this. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.